Welcome to Tool Layout Video Guide. Our thermoforming.tech team create applications that simplify your new project's workflow and increase your time to value. In this video guide, we will show you how to create your first tool layout with our platform. To start a new project, you need to press Layout Project button on the left panel. Here, you can find the dashboard with existing projects. Each project has a draft tab with the last saved configuration of the mold. Every time you generate a PDF or save a revision, the result is saved as a revision tab in the dashboard. Left-click on the revision tab will open it. When you click on the project name, Draft tab, or Edit button, the Draft tab opens and you can modify it. Every tab except the Draft can be renamed or deleted. The Clone button copies the entire project. The Delete button removes the entire project from the dashboard. You cannot restore the project that was deleted. Share Project button allows you to share the project with your team. To add a new project, you must press the Add Design button. Initially, you need to name your project, and you can do this in the project title field. We will name it Video Guide. You can add a description in the project description field, which will help you later. You can also add a photo of your product by selecting a file in Project Image field. If you add a picture here, you will see it in the dashboard next to the project name. Your list of equipment can look different as we add more machines, and you can also add a custom machine that will be visible only for your account. However, if the desired machine is not on the list, you can contact us with the Contact Us button and request to add desired equipment. Let's keep GN800 for this project. Now we choose material type. If your material is not on the list or you need to set a custom density, you can contact us and we will add your material to your account. Our next step is to set the mold type. Press IMC for in-mold cut or Form Cut Stock for Form Cut Stock tooling. The mold type also depends on the thermoformer model, if it can run IMC, Form Cut Stock, or both. If the machine doesn't have cutting data for the mold type, most probably this equipment can't run this type of the mold. If you are not sure which mold to choose, you can check our knowledge base, contact us, or check it with your suppliers. You can also create both IMC and Form Cut Stock and discuss them with your supplier. This part ends with the selection of the cutting dies, CNC machine dies, or steel rule dies depending on your product configuration. We start layout customization. The first thing we have to set is the element form. In the element form field, you can select the type of product. At this moment, there are two most common shapes, circle and rectangular. You can add an oval product with this rectangular form and a higher corner radius. The next step is to set up the thickness of the sheet and the product weight. The system calculates one parameter based on another. The green button with an arrow switches the input and calculated values. If you know the thickness, type it in. The weight is calculated based on thickness and material. If you know the weight of the product, press the green button and set the weight in grams. Now the thickness is calculated based on material and the product dimensions. Then you specify the dimension of the future product. When choosing a round shape, you set a diameter of the product. If your product is rectangular, input parameters are different. It is length, width, and a corner radius. Let's set the dimensions of the product to 150 by 135 with a corner radius of 25. As you can see now, after we modified the dimensions of the product, the thickness of material changed because now the system follows the weight of the product. If we switch back and set the thickness to 500 microns, the weight will be recalculated. Now we can add more cavities on our mold, adding columns in the machine direction and rows in the material direction. If we have a round product and our diameter is up to 120 millimeters, we can use W layout. Sometimes it allows us to decrease the waste and put more cavities on the tool. Let's get back to our rectangular product. Now we can fill the forming area with our cavities till we reach the limit. It is clear now that adding more columns or rows is not possible. So our product has 15 cavities on GN800 forming area. What we can do as well, we can rotate the product and try to add more cavities on a tool. And again, you can see that 15 is the maximum. Below the number of columns and rows, you can see columns shared edge and rows shared edge input values. You can connect two cavities with the shared edge tooling, but this technology is a complex and not supplied by any tool maker. To get more information about shared edge technology, contact us with the Contact Us button or check our dedicated video for shared edge tooling. You can adjust the distance between cavities. To change it, use a field called column distance in the machine direction and row distance in the material direction. There are two ways how to change this distance, as you can see here. The default value of 13 millimeters is the recommended one for most of your products. It might be decreased, but you have to consult with your tool maker to confirm it. After your tool layout customization is finished, you can check the mold on three parameters: max mold size, the physical size of the mold which you can fit in the machine. As you can see, we are okay. Max forming area, which is allowed on this machine, it is also okay now. And finally, linear knife length. As you can see, we have 8 meters, while allowed one for polypropylene is 16 meters for 500 microns. If we change the thickness to 900 microns, the linear knife length will change as well. We are still okay. But if it would be a PET project, as you can see, the linear knife length for PET is only 7.7 meters with 900 microns thickness. In this case, we will have to decrease either number of rows or number of columns. After you have placed cavities on the mold, let's move to production parameters. The production output table is modified once you change any parameter. We scroll down and we add production parameters. The CPM field shows how many cycles per minute machine performs. Let's say it will run 25 cycles per minute. The waste norma field reflects the production waste in addition to the tool efficiency: startup, heating, roll change, and bad products. Usually it is between 1 and 5%. Let's set 2% for this project. The production required monthly is the amount of product that needs to be supplied in 1 month. Let's set 1 million products here. The final parameter is machine hours monthly. It is how many production hours your machine has. Let's set 550 hours. While we are adding these parameters, you might notice that the production output chart was changing. If you want to save a calculation but you're not sure if it is final, you can save a revision with the Save as a Revision button. Let's call it PET test. We press Save a Revision button, and it appears as additional tab here. It can be modified, but it cannot be used as a final output calculation. To make it final, we need to press Generate PDF button. Once we press it, system asks us for the name of the PDF file. Let's call it Video Guide. As you can see now, all the data we have discussed is now in a PDF file, which you can save and share with your colleagues and partners. Keep in mind the system doesn't save the PDF files, but it generates the PDF tab. The PDF tab cannot be modified. As a final part of our video guide, let's study the output table which we have below the calculation. All the parameters are also saved in a PDF file. The first column is for product parameters, the area of one product, total area of all products on the mold, the weight of one product, and the thickness. The second column is for the tooling parameters. Material width will be a task for our extrusion. Index stroke, which will help us to calculate how many shots indexes we have in our oven. Layout efficiency and production efficiency. Layout efficiency is calculated on the mold, and production efficiency is the final efficiency with the waste norma, which we have in our production. Finally, for our statistics, we have output per hour column. Here you can see how many products you make per 1 hour and what is the weight of products in 1 hour, how many kilograms of sheet you will need, and what will be the weight of the waste for your product. The final column reflects how many machine hours will be needed for the production of desired amount of products. How many machine hours left after you fulfill the task? What is the weight of product? What is the weight of the sheet that you will need? And how many kilograms of waste you will have. In our next video guide, we will explain price calculator and comparison tool. This is where our video guide for tool layout calculator ends. And if you have any kind of question, you can press contact us and ask your question here. We will contact you and help you with any request.